power chords, my favorite. So a good staple of punk is obviously power chords. You have they're essential for punk rock. That's what makes punk rock punk rock. It has that angry tone. It's very it basically you can very easily display feeling with it, and then with a little bit of treble up, you crank it, get a nice crunchy sound. Can't really get that out of an acoustic guitar, but you know what I mean. So anyways, how do you do these? How do you do one of the most easiest things on guitar? You'll learn this and you can take it all over the neck, incorporate it into all of your music if you want to. I don't care. It's very easy to do. So I'm going to demonstrate on the 5th of the E string, which is a very tippy top string. Should sound a little bit like that. So we're going to take our first finger and put it on the 5th. And you can tell it's the 5th fret, I mean, by these little dots here. So this one basically signifies that it's the 3rd fret. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to take our first finger and put it on the 5th. Try to show you that maybe a little bit better. That's on the 5th. And then we're going to take our ring finger and put it on the A string, one below that, and those should sound like this, strum. And we're going to take our pinky over here and put it right under the ring finger to get all those top 3 strings covered. And it should sound like that. Now yours might sound like a little off if you're just starting out. Just take it slow and very carefully. Make sure you can only hear those, and then start punching the strings if you want to. It's the staple of punk rock. So another good thing to know with the power chords is how to mute other strings. A good part of doing these power chords is keeping the other strings from playing. So if you notice when I strum, you don't get that. These strings don't make any noise. They make a little percussion, but otherwise they don't really make anything. Well, how do I do that? I basically just take my ring finger and I sort of drape it over the other strings. Now the reason why this doesn't mute the bottom 2 is because these 2 are in front of this one, so they don't really, they're in front. It doesn't really matter. So the first finger is sort of draped over, it's muting these bottom 2. This middle finger does nothing right now, it's just kind of resting on the first finger. And I also try to aim for only those strings, so we can go through another go around of subliminal, like I did in the beginning. And it's a power chord one. Now you notice that I kind of did an open thing here. That's because this power chord 3, 2, and 1. On the 1, you actually would hold it up here beyond this fret, so it's open. Messed up there. But you notice you didn't hear these strings, the B and the E, the G, you didn't hear those. Well, the reason for that is the muting. How it's important. Now, if you want to mute on the A strings where you have the troublesome E up there, you basically take that middle finger that we talked about earlier, and you put it over the E string, and you kind of drape it, but you make it rise. So essentially, it'll do that. You want it to sort of have a little curvature. So we're gonna do this. You notice you don't hear the E string. That's how you apply muting to power chords. Now, along for beginners, you're probably thinking, or beyond beginners, intermediate players are like, I know how to do this already. I'm bored. Show me something cool. Well, we're going to do a little bit of Descendants that I've done in my last video. So basically, the Descendants song, I believe it's Stereotype, maybe it's Suburban Home. It basically uses the triangle of punk rock. So we start out with an A power chord over here on the 5th. It's going to sound like that. and then we move over to the 6th on the E, and then we move over to the 5th, and that's the whole intro. And the picking pattern is da, 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 da. So it's down, down, E, it's down, down, up, down, and then you just repeat that at a tempo of like, I think that's the speed. Or you could just kind of straight out strum it. Whatever you want to do. But you want to add rhythm, like that quick sort of constant barrage that punk rock wants to be. It's constantly, it's loud, it's angry. That's what punk rock is. That's what these power chords are about. So you're going to go... You can do that. And that other thing I did was... I'm going to go over here to the, I believe it's the, 7th E, down to the 6th on the A, back to the 5th, with those 3s of punk rock, so. That's a little descendants for you. But anyways, that's enough of the lesson. Next time, we're going to be talking about rhythm and how important it is.